Hey there, here I'm going to give you a quick example of how things work under the hood. We take a little bit more granular approach. That means we're not automating everything. A lot of things are automated, but we're also having this human expertise element to make sure we are returning the high quality results. So here I'm just going to show you a code for narrowing down the results for a client, which is a machinery company, and they're looking for someone in outside sales, independent of location in the US, and they don't care about the education. So normally we would start with a list of, let's say here it was 30,000 relevant job titles and people from various data partners, including LinkedIn and others. We have a bunch of data like job title, headline, LinkedIn, even social media links and email. Social media are relevant if you want to, maybe analyze for culture fit. Then we might have GitHub and analyze the technologies they work with and all sorts of things about their experience, open source contributions, and so on, and even other employment history, location, departments, functions, and seniority. So here I would take a bulk of the relevant candidates out there in the market, kick out anyone who's not in the US and it's not matching the seniority that we're looking at. Like, we don't want VPs, we're looking for mainly entry positions and maybe sales managers. We can put, for example, a gender guess based on the name and add that into the mix of ranking, because some companies, they need to hit some quota, maybe it's a public company or so. And then we have analysis of their past experience in terms of what departments they work with. So we want strictly salespeople. So we're kicking out anyone who's been, in other departments and hasn't stuck with sales, strictly with sales. Other than like engineering and technical sales, basically. Same with the departments and the functions. We want strictly people who work with sales, not people who work with, I don't know, education or support and other things, product management. So that way, we are now having much smaller data set, which is way more relevant. Look at the headline. We can infer a lot of guesses there, but at the very basic, we're kicking out anyone who says they're retired in the headline. Then we're analyzing the average length of their past jobs, how many jobs they held in the past, and how many concurrent jobs they're holding now. So, for example, someone with multiple jobs right now, they probably are not very committed to their current employer, so we're not looking at those. We don't want job hoppers as well, but we also don't want someone who's been 40 years in one job, because they're probably not going to change. So we can also analyze the promotions. For example, looking at LinkedIn, if we see someone holding multiple job positions at one company, so we see a progress, and that might be a sign of someone who's achieving and actually, it's a great employee. Then we have macro data like number of employees of their employers and industry and so on. So we can find companies that people with experience in machinery industry, oil and gas industry, mining industry, like all the relevant industries, and also companies of a similar size. Like someone who works with 200,000 employee company will not be relevant for this client because this client is a 500 employee company. And then we have other macro data, like, for example, based on their location, where they are based, we can see the average annual salary for the job. So if this person doesn't care about the location, we can add another criteria which are based on, like how much return on investment are you going to get with this particular employee in that particular market. So that's another, factor we put into the mix. And then eventually, we use all of these criteria to create a ranking and, kick out the outliers and come up with someone with decent experience and, who's been achieving well in their position, in their current job or previous jobs, who is in the right market in terms of return on investment for the employer. And a bunch of other things, relevant industry experience, and so on. And for example, here we ended up with 100 most relevant